Alright guys, we're heading down to round 2 of the Driftcup Championship. If you didn't see round 1, I'll give you a quick summary. We ended up in the top 8 and got knocked out there. Basically qualified 29th, which just scraped us through into the top 32 battles. So the top 32 battle, I got lucky and the opponent's car broke, so we just kind of got through by default. Then the top 16 battle, the guy we were against span out on the first corner, so we kind of got through by default again. And then the top 8 battle, yeah, we got knocked out. So yeah, we're 8th in the championship now somehow, but obviously that's only after 1 round. And originally I was kind of thinking, well, I'm not going to do great in my first year, in the championship standings wise, but now that we've fluked our way into 8th after 1 round, it's well, let's try and capitalise on it. Do you know what I mean? Let's try and push and actually maybe finish in the top 10 somehow. We'll see if that happens. But that's kind of the stretch goal, I guess, at the moment, is to finish in the top 10 of the championship by the end of the year. Now, there's only 5 rounds, I think. Was it 4 rounds? No, there's only 5 rounds, I think, of the championship. So, ending up in 8th after 1 round is kind of useful. It's not just oh, you're going to still just get annihilated by the end of the season. It is useful points in the championship standings. So we're going to try and capitalise on that, like I said. But yeah, I'll stop waffling on now and we'll get straight to the practice day beforehand, which is tomorrow. So yeah, we've got a full day of practice, and then we get a couple of hours of practice the next day in the morning, and then the competition, qualifying, starts at lunchtime. And then if you make it through the battles, you'll be doing that in the afternoon. So we'll see how we go. Luke didn't qualify last time, but hopefully he'll qualify this time. Hopefully we both qualify this time, but definitely not taking that for granted. That was one of the surprising things last time, was how hard it was to do well in qualifying. So definitely not taking that for granted. Bryn is coming as well. He's going to be our spotter, and he's going to be on the radios giving us shit if we're miles off the clipping zones like we were last time. And if I'm drifting too shallow like I normally do, he's going to give me a lot of shit. So hopefully a bit of tough love, and we'll improve over last time. So yeah, we'll cut now straight to tomorrow, I guess, when I'm at the track and we're starting practice. Right guys, I've done a couple of laps, and I'll be honest, I am struggling. It was really patchy to start with, wet and dry in different places. It's dried up quite a bit now, so we should be alright. But yeah, I'm struggling. I've done this track before, but only in the 86, and it was 2 years ago. But yeah, one thing I forgot to mention as well earlier is that I've replaced the diff, kind of temporarily, but I'll explain that later. But yeah, we have got another CAS 2-way diff in the car now, and also got a diff temperature sensor as well. So we can see that oil is 38 degrees. How useful is that? Not very, but whatever. Let's go try out to crash. Pretty sure one of my exhaust gaskets has disintegrated. When I put the exhaust all back together after changing the diff the other day, I did notice 2 of the exhaust gaskets were pretty haggard, but I didn't have any spares, so I just put them back in, and now the car suddenly sounds like arse. So I'm guessing one of them, or both of them, have finally gone. So that's a bit of a shame. Sounds like a proper fart cannon now. I feel like I'm on such shallow angle as well, but I literally can't do anything else. I've not got the power to be on big angle around such a long, fast corner. So it's an awkward one. What am I doing on the first part? I feel like the entry was kind of okay, and then it just went to shit. Getting out to that next clipping point is so fucking hard. But yeah, then they want us to run a sort of middle line after that though. It's a weird layout. I'll flash up a picture of the map that the judges gave us and what they want to see. and then you guys have kind of maybe got an idea of what I'm trying to do. Basically, we start at these cones, as you've already seen in the in-car footage. Chase car on the left, lead car on the right. Go around this corner. It's quite a tight corner, so you can't really carry much speed through there, but basically go around there as fast as you can. So you get onto this straight, and then in qualifying, they said they want to see a big flick entry using the whole of the track. So basically swing all the way across to the left-hand side of the track, and then flick back right into the initial clipping zone and into the first corner. They did say that in the battles, they don't want to see you use the whole track. Like, you can do a little flick, but don't go across sort of halfway across the track, because then you might impede the chase car. So yeah, you do your big entry. They said you'll get marked down heavily if you just drive straight and just pull the handbrake. Like, they want to see big entries here. They said that would be a big part of the score. And then you slide through the clipping zone on the outside here, go deep into turn 1, run all the way around the outside of turn 1 to clip 2 here, and then transition back pretty quickly to get to clip 3. Now, in hindsight, obviously I'm recording this after the event, in hindsight, this is where a lot of people apparently were making mistakes, according to the judges and according to Bryn, who was watching and radioing things through to me and Luke. Basically, between clip 3 and clip 4, I think a lot of people were just running like an outside line all the way through, whereas what they said they want to see is just kind of get out to clip 3 and then come straight back off it and go on this sort of weird, shallow inside line that a lot of people didn't like, and it felt kind of quite unnatural, but that's the line they said they wanted, so that's what we've got to do. And basically have your front wheels pretty much kiss the curb on the inside of the track here, and then run all the way out to clip 4. Now again here they said a lot of people were getting there too soon and basically running the whole rumble strip, whereas they only want you to kind of get your back wheels out to the very end of the rumble strip. And then after that, a midline they called it, through the next part, where they don't want to see you like right out towards the edge of the track. And to be honest, I couldn't have done that because I didn't have enough power. It's quite a long, sort of wide, fast corner at that point. And they definitely don't want to see you on the inside, like near these curbs. So just middle of the track, and then swing back out to the edge of the track for the final clip, which is also pretty much the finish line. Now you'll notice there's like another right-hand sort of kink, or like a final corner after the finish line, but like I say, that is after the finish line. So you'll see in my in-car footage, I wasn't really drifting around that. Like, I was kind of running out of steam just before that. But in theory, that doesn't matter because it was just after the finish line. So yeah, hopefully that explains what we're trying to do and kind of makes a bit more sense for the rest of the video. After the last round was not being so shallow, but on this track it just feels like I have to be. Like at Rockingham, it was a choice to be fairly shallow. It was like to be safe and like just to make sure I didn't spin and all that stuff. But here, if I carry any more angle, I'm just going to run out of speed and like not have enough power to get around the track. So it's awkward. I could do with like another sort of 50 brake horsepower here. Oh, we've got this guy again. He was like on our door last time. Fuck. He knows he's gonna fucking smash into me. Right, I've been and put a bit more pressure in the tyres because for once I feel like I've maybe got a bit too much grip. Like, yeah, it means I can go a bit faster, but I'm having to be so shallow towards the end of the fast corner because I just haven't got enough power to keep it spinning. So, gone for a few more PSI and we'll see if that makes much of a difference. He's cheerful. He's obviously not seeing how shit I am. Going to get to go out with Luke. Finally! I'll leave a gap. Or shall I? Yeah, I'll leave a gap. Maybe. I don't know. He might get nervous because I'm behind him. He might try and show off. Behind someone that you know, although I thought he fucked on the first corner. I think he got a bit of understeer. I had to fucking really hard left foot brake while I was still on full throttle, and my front wheels started locking up. It was a bit sketchy, but after that it was good. It was good. Oh, I think we might be going out behind Johan, who, if you remember from one of the first 350 drift videos I did, he was the guy instructing me at Teesside. So this will be interesting. Oh, Luke and Oak are going out as well, 350 crew. So yeah, this will be interesting. I think that's got a bit less power than this, but I think he knows what he's doing a lot more than I do, so we'll see how it balances out. I think you're having the same problem that I'm having. Running out of power on the last half of that big corner. So at least it's not only me. That was still a fun run though. He did well on the first section. Like, I couldn't keep up with him on the first section, which is normally where I'm finding it okay to keep up with people. But yeah, then we just both start to run out of steam towards the end. We're going out with Johan again. I'm going to bear in mind that he was fast through the first section this time and just try and dive onto him. But it can't be too aggressive because it would be a fucking shame to crash into someone on a practice day. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Again. Oh, I really need to not do that tomorrow because that's probably just going to be an instant zero looking straight enough. I get too keen, like the first bit, I'm like, oh, I'm getting quite close. Keep doing that, and then, yeah, before you know it, you're onto that bit where they've got to cut across the track and shallow up, and you're just stuck there. Oh, this is the last lap. The last lap.
Stand there.
For God's sake. Can I just sit down?
Yeah, you sit down.
I'll just sit down and just have a nap. How about that? I feel like you're getting closer than I would be.
Like now you're like this big.
That's what she said.
This is the right
amount of zoom. It's not like Driftworks where it's like this. Why do they film everything? Why do they film everything so close? Well, the rest of it's fine, but why is it point blank? You can even see how uncomfortable people are when he's like, hello, and they're like,
Rich Grinrod's my favourite. Whenever they get in his face, he's just like. Right, what are we saying then, Chris? How's your
the battery
day
cut
been?
out halfway through my little ending speech, I think. So I'm going to try and remember what I said, but I don't know when it cut out. So let's just go from the top. From the top. Been a good day. Can't remember what else I said really. Struggled with the power. But I've already said all this in the videos. You'll hear me bitching and moaning at the end of each run going, no, it's shit because I ran out of power.
So now you can have a summary, bitch.
Have a summary where I go, oh shit because I ran out of power. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be interesting because there's going to be more people and the weather's probably going to be shit. So today we've had a great time in the sunshine and tomorrow we're going to have a miserable time in the rain because it's going to be super slippy. All the aggressive entries we've been doing aren't going to work now because you're going to go, well, understeer. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, I guess you guys will find out tomorrow, or find out now, sorry, if the weather is shit. But for us, we've now got 10 to 12 hours of waiting. 12 hours? Probably not. But first, let's go pig out on some burgers.
Ooh. Good morning, happy campers. We are at day 2. Blech. We're at day 2 of Driftcup now, so this is a couple of hours of practice and then qualifying in the battles if Chris and Luke get through. They've changed the track a little bit because a lot of people weren't getting the line that they wanted yesterday. So there's a clip on the corner we're at now that's turned into a touch and go FD style, which is that cone there. That cone there, and they want you to come in, touch this cone and then start shallowing up quite quickly. So they're out now, just started practice. I've already heard Chris saying it was harder than he remembered, so we'll see how they get on throughout the rest of the practice session.
It's now competition day. We've got 2 hours of practice now and then it's qualifying. The weather at the moment is okay, but it's forecast rain at about 1 o'clock, which is pretty much exactly when I'll be doing qualifying. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Not looking forward to that if it does rain. I'm also going to try third gear for the sort of mangy entry. That did not do what I wanted it to do. Yeah, that spots that on. This is definitely the last lap. I can see Dale telling everyone. So yeah, I feel so unprepared again. I thought it was just the Rockingham layout that I didn't get on with, but turns out I think every Driftcup layout is going to be a lot more technical, a lot harder than I was expecting. Right, we are in the queue for qualifying. We are after these two guys in front. Luke's done his first run. I don't think he made any major mistakes or anything, but he said it wasn't a very good run overall. And I think the commentators mentioned that, yeah, it wasn't amazing. He didn't get a 0 or anything like that, but not an amazing run. It did rain earlier, but thankfully it's pretty much dried up now. Unfortunately, I still don't have a clue what I'm really doing for my entry. I'm just gonna wing it. So we'll see how that goes. I haven't even decided like where to change down the gear, whether I should even be in third in the first place. Yeah, I got no idea what I'm doing. So we'll just go out, wing it, see what happens. Right, do we go for third? These are not the kind of decisions we should be making on the start line. Okay, let's try third. reckon that'll be like a mid-pack score there. Not good, not bad. Oh, my gear shifter thing's fucking stuck. That's why it felt weird when I changed gear. What are you stuck on? There we go. That's better. Right, we're going out for qualifying run number 2. We've been sat in the queue for so long though that I've just completely forgotten what the track even looks like. Not quite that bad, but like yeah, it's weird waiting for so long between runs. Right, let's play a game of guess what gear we're going to be in and what line we're going to take. We'll go third again. Fuck it. But we'll try change down to second earlier this time. With that, if we don't qualify, then I'm not going to be like mad at myself and like, oh, I should have done this differently or whatever. Like, I feel like I did alright there. So if we don't qualify, then we just weren't good enough, which is fair enough. So yeah, we're going to go find out now. Alright guys, as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm back on the track in the car, we qualified. This time we qualified 20th, I think, or 21st, which is an improvement over last time. Last time we were 29th, I think it was. Luke qualified as well, which is great. I'm really happy for him because I would have been bummed for him if he ended up not qualifying 2 rounds in a row. That would have sucked, because I know he's capable. So yeah, that's really good. I think he was 29th or 30th, so pretty much the same as I was last time. So that's cool. I don't know who I'm actually battling. I know the guy's name, but I don't think I've spoke to him before. I probably have. It's probably going to be embarrassing. Probably turn out I know him really well. But yeah, I don't know what car he's in or anything. Maybe it's this one. But we're like the 4th battle, yeah, so that would be him. Right, Luke's just gone out to do his battle now. I'm against this guy who apparently has got 500 brake horsepower. So, in theory, we're probably pretty fucked here. But anything can happen. I'm just going to kind of do what I've been doing. And we'll see what happens, really. Like, there's not a lot I can do. I kind of want to drop the pressures a little bit so I can maybe catch up to him. But I honestly don't think, if a gap forms, I don't think I'm going to be able to close it up at all. So I'm going to have to just try and be on him right from the start. Hope that he makes a mistake. And yeah, the lead run, I have no idea what I'm going to do because we're not allowed to do the big Manji entries now. And I haven't practiced anything other than that, so fuck knows. But at least I should just be able to stay in second gear the whole of the first corner if I'm just doing a smaller entry. So that makes one thing a little bit easier. Depending on, or it could be a one more time. I don't. Oh, I won. Cool. We won against the 500 brake car. Happy about that. This is what I mean. Anything can happen. Like, people make mistakes, and I fucking did on my lead run. People make mistakes.
Me and you, man.
Is it?
You qualified 29, so you
So me against Johan, yeah? Oh, here we go! Right, this is who we're going against, Johan. And you can see he's had a little bit of a run-in with someone already today. Hopefully it won't be with me. We've got Colgate going against Dan Joyce. And this is the start of like the top 16 bracket, basically. Those guys are still doing the top 32 battles. And then, yeah, we've got Danny Wyman over here going against this guy who I don't know the name of. And then someone who's borrowed a car, and the car happens to be the BDC Championship Pro-Am winner. So, yeah, a bit mad. And we've got Dave's cool roof. Look at this. That is some cool paint. And then we've got Andy Frost over there. But it's just started raining, as you can probably tell. So, fuck knows what we're going to do. How's it going to go?
Yeah, we're going to have fun. That's how it's going to go. That's about it.
Are you going to damage your car anymore?
Well, if you slow down. Yeah.
I won't slow down. I mean, I might spin out because it's pissing it down.
If you spin out, I'll see it, man. All good.
So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Alright, so like I said, it is pissing it down now, which is frustrating because I feel like one of us is going to end up losing this battle just because of the conditions rather than like any sort of real skill or anything like that. It's going to kind of come down to luck. Behind us. What happened to him? Barring anything weird happening, we should be through. That's a real shame though, because like I said, it's just because of the weather. Like, it's a shame to win a battle just because it's wet. Yeah, I was close to spinning on my lead run, so. Sweet. Oh, that was tense, man. That lead run was so sketchy for me. Like, I'm glad that he like messed up the chase run, because that took a lot of pressure off me on my chase run. I nearly fucking spun on my chase run as well, man. He was doing well up until the point where he spun on the lead run. Alright, we're now going against Colgate, and he's going to win. I know I keep saying this, but he's going to win. He's like more consistent, he qualified like 3rd or 4th or something, he's really good. He's got better tyres, more power. I think this is going to be the end of the line for us, but whatever, it's been a good journey. The rain has just carried on, it's got worse and worse, which again I think plays into his hands more than mine because he's got better tyres. You can just get a lot of heat into them and they'll drive pretty well. I've lowered the pressure in mine, but I think there's only so much we can do with cheaper tyres that aren't like semi-slicks. The thing is with semi-slicks, like obviously they're awful in the wet normally when they're cold, but if you get a bit of heat into them, they drive pretty well in the wet. So that's basically what everyone does when it rains. Stick some semi-slicks on, but I've not done that. have done the same one he just did then behind me, I think that would have been fairly damn close. Oh well, these things happen. Oh well, we gave it a good go. Annoying to go out like that for a stupid mistake, and because of the weather as well, but whatever, that's how it goes. Go load everything up, and I guess I'll film something when I get home, just gonna, after reflecting on it a few days later. So yeah, I'll see you there. Okay, we are back from Driftcup. It's been a couple of days since the competition, so I thought I'd give you my thoughts and explain a couple of things as well that weren't very clear in the video. And yeah, overall definitely very happy with getting to the top 8 again. Like, I thought it was a complete fluke the first time in round 1 when we got to top 8, so for it to happen twice in a row, pretty happy about that. It means it's not a complete fluke. Like, there's definitely still a bit of luck involved, don't get me wrong, but yeah, pretty happy with that for my first 2 ever competition events, especially with qualifying, because I was not getting on well in practice and before qualifying. As you saw, didn't have a clue what I was doing, and was just trying so many different things and nothing was really working. And just struggling with having too much grip, I think. I don't know why I didn't really realise this at the time. I did at first. I was like, oh yeah, I had like 18 PSI in the tyres at first, which is too low for a car that's only got 260, 270 brake, and especially on a tight track like that. So yeah, I upped the pressures a bit, and then upped them a bit more again later on. And I think I ended up on about 30 PSI, just over, which I thought was a fair bit, like was enough. But looking back at the footage, like I just had too much grip and not enough power basically. So I should have just loosened it up a bit more, like put some more pressure in and been able to drift more comfortably rather than just, like, I was flat out in second and third most of the time and the car's barely sliding. Like, some of the footage is just embarrassing how shallow angle I'm on. But yeah, you know, live and learn. Spoke to Jojo, who was in a borrowed car that had about the same amount of power as mine, and she was on like 55 PSI. And she knows what she's doing. She ended up coming second in the whole competition, so she knows what she's doing. And yeah, if she's on like literally double the pressure that I'm on, then I'm obviously doing something wrong. So yeah, next time, definitely just going to loosen the rear end up a little bit. That sounds weird, doesn't it? But yeah, I think that'll help quite a lot. It just means I won't be able to go as fast. Like, when I first started drifting, I thought it was all about just carrying the most angle you possibly could, like just 90 degrees everywhere basically. You know, I got the big angle kit on the 86 and just wanted to be maximum angle everywhere. I thought that was what it was about. And then I slowly sort of realised that big angle means you're going very slow. So, you know, you want to go faster, you want to have a bit more grip and go faster, maybe a bit less angle, but you're going faster. And then I've kind of gradually got to the other extreme, I think, where I'm focusing too much on having grip and going as fast as I can, and the car's barely sliding. So yeah, that's one side of things. Like, next time I'm just gonna have to increase the pressures a bit. I also had to take the anti-roll bar out on the rear because one of the drop links snapped. So that probably didn't help. That all have sort of softened the rear end up even more and made it a bit more grippy. So yeah, we'll get that sorted and increase the tyre pressures a little bit next time, and hopefully then we'll be able to carry a bit more angle, be a bit more, like, it'll look more aggressive, but the weird thing is it'll feel less aggressive because you can't go as fast when you've got less grip. So obviously you need the grip to give you traction coming out of corners and stuff, and to stop you spinning out when you go for a big slide. So I don't know, I'm not sure how it's going to feel, but we'll try it and see if it's better. Other than that, the only other thing I really wanted to explain was the final battle, my final battle with Colgate in the top 8. It looks like just a really stupid spin, and like at the end of the day it was my mistake completely, but there was a bit of a reason for it. Okay, I'll run you through what happened. I'll overlay the footage and pause it where I'm on the bits I'm talking about. Right, we go down the start straight, and he initiates quite a bit later than I was expecting, but like, that's not a big deal, that's not a problem, you know, I should be able to deal with that, and I did deal with that, okay, like that didn't ruin the run or anything like that, I'm not trying to say that, it's a very minor thing. And then we get into the corner, and I think that this is the amount of angle that he's going to carry through the whole corner. I'm like, right, he's set here, obviously this is all happening very quickly, but this is kind of my mindset, like, right, he's on that amount of angle, we're going to go through the corner like that. But then all of a sudden, he just gets a load more angle, and because it's soaking wet, and we've done very little practice in the wet, I thought that he was just spinning out here. Like, this sudden sort of wobble, like suddenly just getting way more angle. And bearing in mind, I don't know how much lock he's got, like I don't know how much angle his steering setup can do. I just suddenly see him, the back end of his car swing round loads, and I was like, fuck, he's spinning. So I start to sort of, in my mind at least, and I started to on the steering wheel as well, take like slightly evasive action. You can actually see in the in-car footage I start steering to the left a lot, even though we're still sort of drifting out to the right, to try and sort of avoid him, because I'm like, oh, he's about to spin. But he doesn't spin, he makes it through the corner and on a pretty good line as well, like all the way around the outside. The problem is, at this point, I've kind of already, in my head, was like, oh shit, I need to avoid him, he's about to spin. But then I realise he hasn't, and I kind of get back on it and like have to correct the correction that I made to try and avoid him. And it all just gets messy, and I just start to sort of panic a bit, basically. And then by the time we get to the transition, I'm sort of realising, oh shit, I need to get back closer towards him, and I think I just floored the throttle a bit too much, like bearing in mind how wet it was. I also remember pressing the foot brake, like left foot braking. I don't know why, because I wasn't anywhere near him, like I didn't need to control the distance. But again, I think just because I'm kind of panicking at that point, I've gone from thinking, right, I'm following him, oh shit, he's spinning, oh shit, he's not spinning, oh shit, I need to get back onto him, and just all that happening at once, I just messed up at that point and just panicked and did the wrong things. And like, because it was wet, you can't get away with, like if that had been dry, could have got away with it, just like the sloppy inputs and the sharp inputs they wouldn't have been pleasant, but it wouldn't have spun out. But because it was wet, you can't be having like those quick, sudden, incorrect inputs. And like I was just way too late to get the steering lock on to kind of catch the slide. Again, because I'm still just sort of panicked, like thinking, trying to figure out what's happening, whether I should be diving towards him, whether I should be braking, whether I should be trying to avoid him. Like it all just got like so messy just from that split second of him putting more angle on, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with him doing that. Like I'm not blaming him in the slightest. Like he did the corner very well. But like I say, in my head, just because it was soaking wet, we'd had very little practice in the wet, I was like, is he spinning? And I think in my head I just committed to the fact that he is spinning out, which, you know, live and learn. I need to get better at judging exactly when I do need to take avoiding action. I think a lot of time I do bail out way too soon, so that's definitely something for me to work on. But that was kind of what happened there. It wasn't just a random, just misjudged the like how much steering I needed or whatever. There was a bit of a reason for it. But yeah, still completely my mistake, like still something that I need to fix for next time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry if this has been a really long video again, but I'd rather not sort of cut too much stuff out of these Driftcup event videos, because like I want you guys to kind of see everything that goes on, really, rather than it just being like any other drift event I go to, you know, it could just be any other practice day if I cut out a lot of the stuff that makes it kind of unique to a competition. And then it just ended up being too short. I feel like if I just purely put the competition stuff in, like just the qualifying runs at the battles, it'd be really short and boring. So yeah, I'd rather just be like, well, it's going to be as long as it is. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not setting a specific time restriction to how long the video should be. And if people want to watch it, they can watch it all. So yeah, I will see you in the next video, which will probably be the Rockingham day, or we might sneak one in at Santa Pod before then. So yeah, whichever one comes first, I'll see you there.